Welcome to Straight Out of Savannah, Talking with Tammi, a podcast that showcases people you may not know who are choosing to use their gifts to inspire and move the planet. To Straight Out of Savannah.
Oh, all right. Thank you so much for joining us. I have my guest Lolita here, and she's going to tell you a little bit about what she does, who she is. Lolita, take it away.
Hi guys, so I am Lolita Korneagay. I'm a registered nurse. I am the founder of Cansoom, and I'm also the founder of Nurse CEO. So, Tammi, what would you like me to talk about first?
You just go with what you want to talk about.
Okay, perfect. So currently, Cansoom is my baby and it is my full passion and gets the majority of my attention right now. But essentially, Cansoom does two things. So Cansoom provides cannabis education to regular consumers out there to make using cannabis easy for everyone. And then we also have a certificate program for licensed medical professionals like nurses so that they can become medical cannabis consultants.
That is powerful. That is powerful. Now tell us how that was born, how you came into walking into this passion.
Great. So a few years ago, I was diagnosed with some medical issues that just would not get better. I had surgery, I was on medications, and nothing was working. So I decided that, hey, maybe cannabis can help me with my pain and my medical issues. But I didn't know what I was doing, right? So I had to do a
Yes.
lot of research. I had to figure out how to use it because it's deeper than just smoking a joint, right? There's
Right.
so many levels to cannabis and there's so many cannabinoids and there's so many routes of administration. I was overwhelmed. But it took me exactly 22 months to come up with a treatment plan that worked for me.
Okay.
Those 22 months, I figured, hey, I can't be the only one out here struggling. So I
Mm-hmm.
did a whole business based upon making how to use cannabis easy for everyone so that they don't have to spend 2 years of their lives trying to figure out how to use it. They can come to me or one of the nurses or medical professionals that I've trained, and they can get a treatment plan specific for them without having to go through all the time and all the wasted energy.
That's awesome. That is powerful. And I have to say the way that I found you was on LinkedIn. I saw an article about you and I thought, wow, that's awesome because there are so many people, especially I know in the medical profession especially, that suffer from all types of things. I mean, women are suffering from autoimmune diseases. We're suffering from fibromyalgia, and I am personally suffering from that. We're suffering from lupus. We're suffering from all these different things, and medical the medical community doesn't have a whole lot for us. You know, a lot of times, you know, you get on all these drugs and, you know, for me, I can't take oxy, it doesn't work. You know, morphine doesn't work for me. All these drugs that probably really aren't good for our system doesn't work anyway. So you're wondering what is it that you can do? So one of the things that impressed me about this is that, you know, you have education and you are sharing this knowledge with people so that they can be better informed and know that there are alternatives.
Absolutely. Pretty much everyone who comes to me, whether it's a nurse to take my class or whether it's a patient who wants relief, everyone has a problem, right? So if
Yes.
you're on the nursing side of it, then you understand that pharmaceutical drugs are not the end all be all, and there are better alternatives than loading our bodies full of toxins. And
Yes.
they want to help their patients, but they just don't fully understand everything they need to know about cannabis. And that's why my course is an 8-hour long program that we go
Mhm.
through every single thing, including the endocannabinoid system, dosages, treatment plans, everything that a medical professional needs to know so that they can intelligently and accurately guide their patients along their cannabis journey. But if you come to me as a patient, then you're having a problem that you just want a solution to. And you want
Yes.
a quick solution. You don't have time to waste, right? So I help
Yeah.
you find that solution in the least amount of time as possible.
So now there was a question. So now as you deal with your patients, so do you deal with patients one-on-one or you deal with where you're at a dispensary, or how do you do that?
Currently, I personally deal with patients one-on-one. So if someone wants to consult with me, they would set up a telephone consultation, and then we would discover if it's something that I would be beneficial for them, with helping them with, and if so,
Yes.
then we would move forward.
Okay. That's good. So now, how do you generally have people refer to you, or do they see your article and, contact you? How do you usually, do your marketing?
Right. So currently, word of mouth is the number one way right now. So just like you found me, a lot of people know of me within the cannabis industry and the nursing industry doing what I'm doing, because it's not that many cannabis nurses out here yet. Uh,
Okay.
so based upon that, and I do a lot of social media marketing. So based upon that, people just end up finding out.
So now, oh, this was a question. So now, for people that say, oh, well, there's an online class that teaches that. There's a class that I can just do online, and they have, these modules and blah, 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 blah. What would be the thing that you say to them that would make your class stand out?
So I am so excited that you brought that up. Because let me tell you a true story. This story just happened, I would say, November of
Mhm.
last year. There was a young lady who she was on my email subscribing list. So she would get my emails about upcoming Cansoom classes. She's a
Mhm.
nurse, right?
Mhm.
And so she's just like, well, I took an online course and I don't need to take your course, but I still have questions. And
Right.
my response to her was, well, didn't your online course answer all of your questions?
Mhm. Right.
Considering this online course was what, $100 approximately, and it took her
Oh,
about
wow.
2 hours of her life. And my course is significantly more of an investment, and it takes longer time. You get more information in depth. So
Right.
after 2 months of her struggling, she finally just took my course, and she came to LA. She took my course, and she sat down with me for 8 hours. And after the 8 hours, she said, this was nothing like the online course that I just took. She was like, now I completely understand that I wasted my other $100 or $150 taking that online course, because what you covered was everything that I needed to know. And what they covered was a brief overview. So the
Right.
difference is you pay for what you get regarding this. So yes, you can sit at home and you can take an online course. Or you can do like I did. You can take 2 years of your life and read every single book and watch every single video and all that type of stuff. But I
Mhm.
literally I'm giving you a full handbook. I'm giving you every single thing you need to know so that you won't have any questions. And you're also getting access to me. You can't just do
Awesome.
an online course.
Right, because there's usually nobody on the other end. You can email somebody, and yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So the thing that I notice is your passion for this, and I think that comes across probably when you're teaching as well. And the other thing I wanted to ask now, is your class open to everyone, or who's your class open to?
So my class is only open to licensed medical professionals. So those are anyone who has a state licensure, like nurses, doctors, acupuncturists, physical therapists, chiropractors, people like that.
Okay, gotcha. All
And
right.
the
Is it
Oh, I was
that
just going to
was
say the reason that I chose to do it that way
that was what I was going to ask?
is simply because what I want to do with Cansoom that makes me different than all of the other programs out there or all of the other cannabis consultants out there is that we're forming a trust factor. So if
Okay.
a patient off the street wants to consult with one of my consultants, they know that these people are licensed. They have some knowledge of anatomy and physiology. They have some biology knowledge. Like, they're just not someone off the street who likes marijuana. There's someone off the street who understands the human body and understands what's happening within the human body. So when they're
Hmm.
giving you a treatment plan, they're coming from a holistic standpoint.
Okay. That is powerful. That is really powerful. So now let's talk about your other business, Nurse CEO. Tell us about that.
So Nurse CEO is like a passion project for me, simply because I am a business owner. I've been an entrepreneur for years and years, and I noticed that whenever I would go into these different meetings and organizations, I would always be the only nurse there. And so I would talk to other nurses and they're like, well, I want to own my own business and I want to do this and I want to do that. But they felt intimidated by the business world because in nursing school, they teach you nothing about business, nothing about how to own a business, how to run a business, how to start a business, how to network, how to do any of that type of stuff, right? So I created Nurse CEO to bridge the gap, to help nurses understand that you can own a business, you can be a business leader, an entrepreneur also. And that's the goal of Nurse CEO, is to take nurses from the bedside to the boardroom.
Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, because the thing is, in my own journey, I find that, it's like I was telling you, the tech is, now I can do any nursing tech in the world. I've done all those different programs, and I can pick them up really easy because they're generally all the same, right? You don't have a whole lot of differences, a little bit of difference, but not a lot. So you kind of just can jump in and start working. But when you start talking about mailing lists and you start talking about going on your CRMs and you start talking about, all these different things that you have to do, especially now with social media, you start talking about that, that's work. For me, it's like I watch the YouTube videos for things about 5 times and then I get it, It's like a whole nother world, you know what I mean? And people are like, well, you can do the customer service because you've been a nurse. And I'm like, yeah, that's one thing. But what about all this other stuff? People are like, oh, well, you just, and I'm like, what? Wait, slow down.
There's so much involved to running a business. I mean, everyone thinks, well, I have a service or I have a product that people want. And since I have those 2 things, then the rest will just come easy. No, it won't, because you have to set up payroll. You have to get business insurance. You have to have your website. You have to have fax, an email, phone number. Like, there's so many things you have to have in place just to even start to make money before you make the money. And then after you start making money, how are you handling all of that? So, so that's essentially why Nurse CEO was created. So we do classes, events, all type of stuff to help nurses become the business owners that they want to become.
So now, are your classes all in person, or they are online, or how do you do those?
So they're a combination. So last year we did 2 Nurse CEO Success Summits, one in Los Angeles and one in Atlanta. And we had nurses flying in from all over the country to both of those. It was a full day type conference situation. And then I do online classes. I partner with other people to bring in who are experts in their subject field to do online classes. So it just depends, whatever's going on. I try to bring it to the nurses to help their lives become easier.
That's awesome. So what gave you the vision for that?
Like I said, it was just me. I just saw, I guess because I'm a nurse, I like to help people. So for me, it was easy. I actually have an MBA, so it was the business part of it was not complicated to me, but I saw other nurses struggling with the business part. They have these wonderful ideas and wonderful things they want to do, but they just don't know how to make it come to life. And so it came out of, maybe I can help other nurses.
Okay, so you essentially you help them streamline and learn how to put the things together that it's going to take for them to operate their business.
Yep, I do basic business practices would be the best way to say it. Like the basic things you need to know so that you can get up and running, or so that you won't feel so intimidated and give up. A lot of people give up after the idea. When they have the idea, they say, I want to do it. But then once they find out all the stuff they have to do it, they kind of put it on the back burner and they're like, whatever.
Yes. And the thing is, it's funny, I'm laughing because I work so many, with so many nurses, and I used to do, well, I still do, but I used to do a lot of night shifts. So, on night shift, we would settle everybody in and then we would talk, about what we wanted to do and what we want our life to look like. And 9 times out of 10, most of us didn't want to be on the bedside, for another 30 years. Yeah. So everybody start talking about, what they want to do. And, and some people would have some awesome ideas, and for me, I would be like, okay, so what you going to do about that? And when do you plan to do it? And then they would say just what you said. Well, I don't even know how to start. I don't even know where to, I don't even know what to do and what I would do in order to bring that to pass. So I'm excited about, the Nurse CEO especially, and the other businesses, like, amazing, because I feel like that is so necessary, because this society and what's going on is so many things, and it's like they come up with new diseases and conditions that are so based on overwhelm. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do. I do. Yeah. Cannabis is one of those things that it has such a bad stigma attached to it,
Yes.
simply because it was a manufacturer stigma that the politics, the government put on it.
Yes.
but
Yeah.
but it's such a wonderful thing when used correctly, and if you can use
Yes.
it correctly, you can treat so many ailments and diseases, and it's all natural. It's nothing synthetic about it. It literally grows from the ground. It's as natural as a piece of lettuce.
Yes. I agree. So now I have one other question that I really wanted to ask. What is there an age range of people that you talk to? Are you finding out that more older people are gravitating toward the cannabis industry as well, or what's that like?
Oh, as far as patients,
Yes.
yes. So I would definitely say a lot of older senior citizens are very interested, and they don't have any hesitation. Once they
Okay.
find out that it works for them, they don't care what it is, long as it takes the aches and pains away. Like, they're happy. And cool thing is that they have disposable income the majority of the time. A majority of people over 65 are retired. They don't have to worry about drug testing. They do have some medical conditions that they want under control, and they absolutely love using cannabis.
Okay, that's what I was wondering, because I actually saw an article, well, a story about how in California, especially, they were having dispensaries that were busing to the senior communities.
Yep.
They would go and pick them up and take them to the dispensary, and I thought that's pretty neat. So I wondered if you actually saw the increase in the older adults, wanting the cannabis information and the cannabis consultations.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And the middle age, I would say 25 to 45 also use a lot of cannabis, but they use it more so recreationally than medically. And there's nothing wrong with using it recreationally, because I know me personally, I used to drink a lot of wine,
Right.
but now I don't really have the taste or the desire to drink a lot of wine. So, it's like, I don't want to say necessarily replacing one thing with another, but I think around the 25 to 45-year-olds, they're figuring out that they can have just as much fun without going around getting drunk every
Right. And that's a good thing.
night. Because it helps and all type of stuff.
Exactly. It's like, no, you don't have to be out there drinking, to excess. I don't know. I have talks with them all the time, actually, because I work right now in behavioral health. And so we get a lot of detoxing from alcohol and stuff. And we get kids that are like 25, coming in because they're alcoholics, and they recognize it because they're drinking a pint a day, or a liter a day, and and things like that. And I'm like, dude, you're 25. One thing, how do you do that? How do you work? What do you do? But yeah, so
Tammy, what's so interesting is that our society has made drinking or being an alcoholic normal. Like, if you
yeah,
watch TV, everyone on TV has a glass of wine or a cocktail. Like, it's just something that we associate with being normal if you're drinking.
yes, yes, you're right. When you get off work, you sit down and you have a drink.
Exactly. It's completely okay according to societal standards.
hmm Exactly. But you're killing your liver. I mean, come on now. Eventually, everybody's not going to die of cirrhosis, right?
I
What's
know.
that?
When I stopped drinking that glass of wine every night, I lost like 10 pounds.
Did you really?
all of that sugar, all that sugar.
I got to think about that, because I had kind of stopped drinking a lot of like alcohol and stuff. I don't do a lot of alcohol. I mean, I'll go have a cocktail every now and again, but not not that regular. So I started drinking more wine, and I didn't even think about that,
Yeah,
because I actually made up my mind that I wasn't, I have a lot of people that have alcohol issues in my family, and I made up my mind that wasn't gonna be me.
right.
Because they have all types of stuff that happened to them early. They have strokes and yeah, no. I mean, you're having strokes and heart attacks and stuff in your 50s. No, and so, yeah. But yeah, so the cannabis, I think that that's like a major thing. And I've looked at a lot of programs as well, because that I wouldn't come on here and talk to you without checking some stuff out. So I checked out some programs and stuff, and when I look at yours is the most comprehensive program that I've seen. And I like the fact that even though in person probably would be a little bit difficult, say if you lived in on the other side of the country for you to get to LA or whatever, but I think that because your program is so comprehensive, and I believe also because of your passion, and I think also the access to you is well worth it.
Right. So when I was first developing the program, it was a consideration if I wanted to go around from state to state and like do a tour, so that different people throughout the United States could have access to me. But I
Mm-hmm.
specifically chose to stay in Los Angeles the first 2 years, last year and this year, on purpose. And I
Mm-hmm.
noticed that it has not restricted anyone from coming. I mean, my
Right.
class that I did last week, I had people from New York, Michigan, Ohio,
Oh
Georgia.
wow.
Like they have all flown there. I'm flown to Los Angeles for the course. Because my thought is we're all nurses. I know when I used to work bedside, I thought about how many hours I would have to work to get what I wanted, right? You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? You want a trip to LA, you gotta think, okay, I do one extra shift or I do two
Mm-hmm.
extra shifts this month and
Yep.
I got that trip. Like it's
Yes.
that's how you gotta think
Yes.
about it, right? And if we
Yes.
work it, we can make it happen.
Yes. So now, are you going to offer any more courses later on throughout the year, or are you stopping just in April? Because I looked on your website and I saw the last class so far was April, and I was hoping you were going to do some more because I want to actually take your course myself.
Yeah, no. So yes. So I actually plan on offering courses, one course every single month this year, which
Okay.
I did that January and February, which is now, and then I have March and April plans. I don't have the full calendar up on the site simply because my schedule changes. Like right now, I'm starting to get a lot of speaking engagements, so I want to make sure that those dates will always be available before I actually post it and people start paying and putting together their travel
Yes.
arrangements.
Yes.
So
Yes. That
usually
makes
I do
sense.
2 months out. So
Okay.
so next month I'll end up putting up June. Like I always do like 2 months away.
Okay, awesome, awesome. So now, got one other question to ask you that's just burning. So when you are looking at speaking engagements, are you speaking mostly to medical professionals? Are you speaking to people in general? What are mostly your speaking engagements involved?
So I can speak to both. However, right now I'm focused on speaking to just the general public
Okay.
for a couple of reasons. One, that's my platform. My platform is to make cannabis easy for everyone out there. So the
Yes.
general public is literally my target market, the people that I'm trying to speak to. I
Hmm.
don't mind speaking to healthcare professionals, especially if they have questions regarding what it means to become a cannabis nurse. I can answer those type of questions. I even will welcome the opportunity to speak to like nursing schools if anyone's out there watching.
Okay,
Because
nice.
in nursing schools, they don't teach you about cannabis. They don't teach you about the endocannabinoid
Yeah.
system. You're missing a whole big chunk of
Yes.
essentially everything that I'm teaching. So I would
Yes.
love to do special workshops or things like that for nursing students or even just for nurses in general if the opportunity presented.
That is awesome. I am so excited about this because, it's so necessary. Now, one other question I have to ask you is, I'll probably say that one or two more times, okay? So, do you foresee them taking cannabis off of Schedule 1 at any time soon?
Yes. So some
And are
experts.
you involved in that?
Okay, so here's the thing. Some experts that I do follow out there, they're predicting that cannabis should be descheduled by, say, 2023.
Oh,
So,
awesome.
yeah, so hopefully 2023 right now, in the legislature federally, there's 2 bills that they're currently, a couple senators, I believe, have presented to try to make it legal. So we'll see where that goes. Hopefully,
Okay.
bills can actually go through the whole process, and Trump can sign it off, and it'll become legal. So fingers crossed there. And then as far as me, I am a cannabis advocate. I advocate about the use of cannabis, how it needs to be descheduled and all that good stuff. I am a member of a couple of organizations out there who do wonderful work. I, however, am a supporter. I'm not actually on the front line, meaning I'm not going to the state capitol, and meeting with the actual individual, the higher up individuals involved, but I give my support to everyone out there who is fighting the fight. And if there's any way I can help them, they know they can always call me and I'll be right there.
Awesome. That's awesome. That is powerful. So, in closing, I just really want to thank you for coming on here. I want to thank you for your heart and your passion. I want to thank you for even stepping up and doing this work, because this work is so necessary and so needful. Because, I think about it just from my own standpoint, because I have back issues, and now they want me to go see a surgeon and all this stuff, and and I'm not having surgery. So I'm doing CBD oil right now, you know what I mean? And I'm like, no, and I'm so interested in this work till I'm like, man, I'm excited even to be able to come and take your class. So,
I hope to see you very, very soon.
Absolutely, you will. I'm looking at the next couple of months. That's why I was asking you. I was like, but I really want people to know, and I want this to be so public. I'm going to actually put it on Facebook, and I'll tag you as well. You on Facebook?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I'll tag you as well. And what I need you to do is send me your details. You can email it to me, like your Facebook page and all that stuff, so I can put it in the post. Because as I'm posting, I'm sorry?
I say absolutely. I'll send that to you. And likewise, do it to me so that I can post whenever you're going to air this, so I can post it and let everybody know that.
It's going to be today.
Oh, that's quick.
I do it right after I finish. I used to do it on Facebook, but it was too much of an aggravation, and I kept having a lot of technical difficulties trying to get it aired. So now I record it, and it's going to be on Facebook. It'll be on Facebook. It's going to be on YouTube. I post it to LinkedIn.
Oh, perfect. So yeah, I'll all of that information actually as soon as we hang up. I'll email it right over.
Yes, ma'am. So what I do is I'll have everything there, and I'll put your details wherever people can find you on there. That way, it's easier. They can just click on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you right now to let people know how they can find you, just in case you got people that like to listen to that at the end. But let people know how they can find you, where they can get more information, your websites for Cansoom, and also for Nurse CEO, because there are so many people that, would love to have this information. Because I can think of at least 5 or 10 right now, nurses that I know that, are so interested in doing their own thing, but they're scared,
Wait, where are you located?
I'm in Arizona, but I'm from Georgia, and I lived in South Carolina for like 15 years.
Yeah, I grew up in Georgia. So that's
what part?
Atlanta.
I grew up in Savannah. That's why I liked you. I knew there was a reason. A Georgia peach.
Yes. I went to Auburn.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did.
I went to Auburn too.
You went to Auburn too?
I went to Auburn in 1980, before your time, like 87, something like that.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, because my daddy's from Auburn.
I love it. Yes.
It's amazing, right?
Yes. That's awesome.
Yeah. So that's exciting. So I'm just so glad that we connected, and I'm beyond stoked that you even decided to take this invitation, because I wanted to talk to you after I read the article. I was like, oh my God, this girl is amazing. And I was like, if I could play a part in helping to get her out here so that people can know, because people need to know.
I really appreciate it. Like I welcome any type of publicity. Like I appreciate it because your network is completely different than my network. So
Exactly.
I thank you for giving me the opportunity to show up on your page.
No worries. I'm like I said, I'm so excited just to be able to talk to you because like I said, I know so many people that, nurses that are like, oh, because I don't know about nobody else, but I can't do bedside nursing till Jesus come. I can't do it.
Nope. I
I was
want
like, my mom's been a nurse for 50 years and I'm like, I can't do that. I don't want to do it.
girl, I left the hospital in 2011 and I ain't never looked back.
Okay, 2010 for me.
Yep.
And I remember the day. That's the thing I remember. January 1st, 2010 was my last shift at the hospital. And I said, I can't do it no more. I just
I
can't.
remember mine. Yep, I do.
Is it a shame that you remember the day? It's like an anniversary.
Ooh, yeah. And I couldn't even sit back in a hospital right now. I wouldn't even know what to do, honestly. I was just really, I don't even know.
You just say, you know what? No, that's not for me.
But it led me to having a wonderful career, because I can do this because I'm a nurse. So,
Yeah, and the thing is you do so, you're so passionate about it, and that is the thing. And that's one of the reasons why I said, I gotta have her on my show. I gotta have her. I said, because the passion shows through. It shows through the screen. It showed through the article.
yes,
You
I
know?
love it. Thank you. I accept that. I really appreciate you saying that. I really
Yeah,
do.
no worries, no worries. Okay, so we're gonna end this thing. I want Lolita to share with you where she can be found, where you can reach out to her, where her websites are, and I'll also put them in the post, also in the YouTube as well, because I'm gonna do a post in the YouTube and put it in the bottom of that as well, so they'll know how to contact you once they see your beautiful face.
Awesome. So there's a couple of ways to contact me, and like she said, she will list them all out. But just a brief overview. You can find Nurse CEO at the Nurse CEO on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. You can find Cansoom on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And you can also find Nurse Lolita, and so on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
That is so powerful. So thank you so much for joining us on Straight Out of Savannah, talking with Tammi, with my guest Lolita Korneagay, RN, MSN, MBN, MBA? Yes. And leader of Nurse CEO and Cansoom. She is a global phenomenon, and I'm so excited that she has come on here to talk to us and share with us her heart and her passion. I'm sure that you'll be able to see her heart and your passion as you have watched this show. And if you are doing something amazing in the planet and you'd like to come on and be interviewed, just send me a message. You'll know my deets, they'll be down there. Private message me on Facebook. Send me a message on YouTube. There's 50,000 ways that you can reach out to me, and you'll see them all. So thank you so much for joining, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye now.